should know because 580,000 of you are subscribers, and I really appreciate that. Let me tell y'all what my channel is all about in case you forgot. Knee pain, back pain, chronic pain, obesity, overweight, all the stuff. And honey, what we say on here is lose weight with me. Now, some of y'all, you are skinny, but you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, honey. We want you to lose that too. So thank you for being with us. Keep in mind that we have 100 million people in the United States who are obese and overweight. And I am here to tell you right here in this bed, I am amazed about this thing, y'all. We can do it. We can lose weight. Yes, we can. We can decrease that pain and we can keep our minds open. Tell our minds that we love to be smaller and do the things that will get us there. And we will get there one day at a time. We like to interview on Sundays people who have lost weight. I am so thrilled. This is my second interview with gentlemen who've lost weight. Our guest today hails from Tennessee State University. He played football. I don't know what position he played, but he played it. And he currently has lost 200 pounds naturally. He is an administrative professional and he is a football coach. They call him Coach Ham. So we want Ray to come on in his own way and tell us his wonderful story about his weight loss journey. Thank you for being with us, Ray. Take it away.
Well, I'm kind of shy, so I mean, I can do what I can do. So
That's
just to
okay.
just to start off, I played football all my life. I was always an athlete. I always in shape. I was always a big guy. Always in shape. With went through middle school, little league, middle school, high school, as an All American football player. Left here, Birmingham, Alabama, and went to Nashville, Tennessee, to play at Tennessee State, which is the best decision I ever made in my life. Played there um, on the 1998-99 team, which we were OVC champs. We were the first black university to win a all white conference. And actually,
Wow.
shout out to the guys this year for 2024. They finally won another one, and that was 25 years ago. And I was able to witness that. But so played with them under a great coach, Coach LC Cole. He left us after my sophomore year. We had two bad seasons. My senior year. But my senior year, playing playing against the game, it was game number 8. We playing against Murray State. I never forget it. Um, we were actually beating them pretty good, and I was playing around, and I got injured. I told me ACL and MCL in the same play. Um, at that point, I was no longer able to play football again. No, to play football, it was never in the cards for me to play. I always thought I was going to the NFL. I had opportunity, but once I got injured, that was a big problem for me. So I got depressed. So I went for that summer. I gained 100 pounds that summer because I was inactive. I gained another 100 pounds. Then I ended up getting married, and they say happy weight, but gain weight and gain weight and gain weight. The next thing I know, I was at 600 pounds. So I was sitting at 600 pounds, but I was still active. I've been coaching football for 22 years, so I was still able to do that, even though I was hurting every day after practice, hurting every day after the game, knees, everything was hurting. Um, so just fast forward, 2 years ago, my mom suddenly passed of complications with diabetes, and we were in the hospital, and we were talking, and I told her when we get out this hospital, Mama, we both gonna do better. We're gonna change the way we eat, and we're gonna do better. Unfortunately, she got out the hospital, but not the way I wanted her to go. So she passed away. So it took me a while um, to get started, but on November the 26th, I decided I was going to go on a weight loss journey. So I had a friend who was doing keto, and I hit him up online. I actually never met this person in person, just a friend I had online. I hit him up online and said, "What? Give me some rules or some pointers on keto." He sent me everything he can send me. So I started keto that Monday, and I made a post online. I said, I'm about to start keto. So when I lose all this weight, don't think I'm, what I'm saying, every time we do something, you think somebody's sick. I said I'm not going to be sick. I'm just going to be healthy. So I started keto, and I also did intermittent fasting at the same time. And It was the first month was hard, getting over the sweets, getting rid of the sugar, all the carbs, all that stuff. But once I got over that first month, it was easy. I said if I can make it through Christmas, I'll be okay. So I made it through Christmas. I didn't work out. I didn't do anything. I just said I'm just gonna stick to this diet and lose weight because my back was hurting. I had chronic back pains. Because my stomach was so big. I had chronic back pains. I couldn't walk a long distance. I couldn't do a whole lot of stuff. I had to sit down, so I couldn't really do a lot of exercising. So I waited. I said I'm gonna join the gym in February. That was my goal. So between November to February, all I did was follow my diet plan, follow my intermittent fasting. I worked and did nothing else. I didn't think I was losing weight, but every time I would see someone, they was like, "Oh, you losing weight? You losing weight? You must be doing something." I was like, "I don't think I'm losing weight." Okay, because when I look at myself, I saw the same person. So I looked. It was that February. I took a picture that I had back from October, and I compared it to a picture that I had just took, and I noticed. It shocked me. I was like, "Wow, what I had done." So at that point, I said, "Well, now it's time for me to move up to my next goal." My next goal was to get in the gym. So then I started getting in the gym and I hit the gym hard. I was there every day, 5 to 6 times a week. Um, go to work, go to football practice. And I said, I'm an athlete. I said, I can do this. So
Okay.
I made it mine of a matter. Now, mine, I did go and I had the consultation for gastric bypass, the sleeve. And the doctor told me, he looked in my face, he said, in order for us to do anything for you, you have to lose 150 pounds. And I said, if I can lose 150 pounds, then I don't need you. So once I got to that point where I was able to lose weight myself, and that first year, I lost 140 pounds. That first year, from November to November, weight just came off real fast. Drinking water, eating right, and just doing what I was supposed to do. So it marked 2 years this November, and I've lost 280 pounds. I was 600 pounds. I'm a little bit over 600 pounds. Now wearing a 6X shirt. I wore a 6X shirt since I was probably about 28 years old. I was wearing a 6X shirt. Now I wear a 3X. So
All
I
right
went
now.
down to a 3X. I was 68 in the waist. I'm now at a 56. So it's like I said, I laugh and I joke to all my people. I tell them, I never be skinny, so I don't plan on being skinny. But I feel so much better. Like I'm able to enjoy just being in life, and my sons. I had two sons. I was blessed to be able to coach both my sons, and one of them played football at Alabama A&M. He's done with school now, and I have a freshman right now that's playing football now. And I was able to now I'm to go to their games and just be active along with coaching a powerhouse team. I coach at Hoover High School in Birmingham, Alabama, with Hoover, Alabama. And for people who don't, if you remember anything back in the day, it was a show called Two A Days, and it was a show by MTV, in which they followed our school through 7 championships. So we have been known to win championship. We have 16 total. Now we've been short for the last 7 years. It's another school that's doing their thing in Alabama now, and I salute them. But um, that's pretty much my story. It started off basically. It was a promise that I made to my mom.
Amen.
Um, I made a promise to her that I was going to do better, and I knew when she passed me, she left. She was 59 years old. And I knew that I did not want to leave my kids early. So that's the reason why I started doing what I had to do. And that's why I am today. I'm still working every day.
Amen.
That's
That's
my story.
wonderful. Oh my goodness. Everybody is saying congratulations. People are saying wow.
Thank you.
People are saying if I knew what to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would be okay. People are saying when you are determined, you can move mountains. And then they say, hello, Miss W, you look pretty. Thank you, Gal. Good morning, sister. All right. That's so wonderful. Oh, I'm so sorry that your mom left. I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
that's fine. That's it. People say it never gets easier, but it does get better. So,
Oh,
but I'm,
thank you
I'm able
so
to
much.
deal with it though. So it gets
Thank
better.
you so much for sharing. We have a lot of guys on this channel, Ray, and every now and then they'll say something, like, well, Deborah, I've lost 80 and 90 pounds too. Do you want a massage? I'm like, Boy, we on here talking about weight loss, okay? We ain't talking about
Okay.
all of that. So I can imagine that there's probably not a lot of spaces where, I mean, people can just talk. I'm very open. I'm on every day. And there's a lot of men on my channel, and I can tell some of them are in the US, some of them in the UK, London, the islands, and things like that. What would you say to another man? Because a lot of times men, maybe they might or they may not be able to talk to another man about their weight loss. They may be feeling more comfortable over here in the woman's space where we talk about weight loss and wellness and pain management. What would you say to them? Um, no, you know how sometimes you know what I'm trying to ask you. What would you say to them?
Um, Only thing I would say was just, determination, just determination and drive. Once you get that, nothing else can deter you. And 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 I learned football has always been a vehicle for me to express myself. And my old high school coach, we had this thing that we used to do. We had a motto, and it was believe it and it will happen. That was our motto
That's what's up.
that we said after every practice, after every game. But we had it was two threes. We had three D's and three E's, and I lived my life out after those. It was discipline, dedication, desire, execution, effort, and enthusiasm. So with discipline, dedication, and desire, I was able to tell myself that I was going to be able to do what I can do. I didn't need any outside help, but I was able to do that, and I put all that together, and I came up to where I am today. Again, I'm definitely not done. I'm definitely not done. I'm still working daily. I think I'm at a standstill, but I still every time I put on something different, it's too big. So I'm still moving. So I appreciate it, and all the love that I get from just people I hadn't seen before and people I grew up with, family. It just lets me know, that I'm doing the right thing.
Amen. Okay, I have discipline, dedication, desire. What are the three E's? I'm taking notes.
Exe- Execution, effort, and enthusiasm.
Execution. What else?
Effort, effort,
Mm-hmm.
and enthusiasm.
All right. Yes,
Yeah.
we do get a lot of encouragement from football players when you see those little shorts. And if you watch the football games, they'll have the stories of how they overcame to win and things like that. That is absolutely wonderful. Oh my goodness. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud for you. Um, it's amazing. And you are definitely right. I mean, you are definitely right. I sat in front of a bowl of candy at a choir rehearsal recently, and I
Mm,
and I, I use a wheelchair, so I'm sitting there, and I just said, God, you have jokes. But I had no desire to touch a piece of candy. Whereas before, I would have ate it so fast you wouldn't have even known I had one in my mouth. So I
right.
definitely can agree with you on that. Being just determined after lots of effort. I failed a lot, but I recently buried having a memorial service for my cane. I decided I'm not taking it outside of the house, and that's what I'm going to do. I did physical therapy for 3 months. We worked on standing and walking. I've been exercising for 28 months, and most of these 28 months I've been struggling with my food, even though I've lost a lot of weight. So
Mhm.
I'm just standing in it, and I'm like, look, honey, you can walk. I text both of my coaches. I said, you think I can get away with not walking with my walker? So I'll give it another few weeks. I'm gonna stop walking. My legs work. I work. I mean, my feet work, my knees work, my legs work, my thighs work. That's what it requires walking. And so I love what you said about the three D's and the three E's. And I just love that. I love your drive. And you mentioned that your kids, all your children, take a lot of pictures of you. What do you have girls too, don't you?
I have a girl. My oldest is
What
the
did she
girl.
say?
That's my baby though. So, she's my favorite. Don't tell my boys, but they know it though. They know it. She's the only girl and the oldest, and she'll tell you. And they know she has my heart. But she loves to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And she does. My ex-wife and I actually were photographers together, so we had a business, and that's what she
Oh.
does. And my daughter kind of took over that. So she loves to take pictures, and just me and her being together. She's my twin. Like she she's me with hair. Like it's crazy. It's shocking. But yeah, my daughter's my oldest, and she runs it. She runs the house. But yeah, she loves to take pictures. I never would take pictures before, but I take a picture every day now. And
Amen. Me too.
it's not right. It's not, and I tell people it's not because I'm conceited or nothing like that. It's for me to document my weight loss. So I document my weight loss
Yes.
every day, and the more I get comfortable taking pictures, because again, at first I wouldn't take a picture. I had to stand up. I had to stand a certain way. But please don't take a
Yes.
picture of me. It was like that. So I got to that point now where the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is it? Let's do it. Like, that's where I'm at now. So,
Okay. And
but
you are
yeah,
exactly right. Looking back at yourself, you don't see certain angles and things like that. And it is so important. My coach Storm says you can't manage what you can't measure. So I love that you took a picture, that you take pictures. I take pictures every day, videos every day, no matter what my hair looks like, no matter, it don't even matter. That's why I stopped beating my face. I love a good beat. I love a good wig. But guess what? I'm about that weight loss right now.
right,
And I mean that. And so if I need to see myself, because you really don't see yourself until you see yourself. And that's awareness.
right. It, it,
Mhm.
it's
Oh,
all it's everything is mental. It's a whole
yes.
everything is mental. And if you can get past the mental aspect, it's just a lot. You tell yourself that you don't need that piece of cake, and that's another thing. I've been doing keto so long. I'm actually doing dirty keto now. And people, that's so I enjoy certain things. When I first started, I was strict. I wouldn't do anything. I was 55 net carbs. I was no added sugar. I was like no fruit. Only fruit I would do is berries. I was like very, very strict on it. And now I'm not. I kind of know my body, and I know when I get full, I get full. When before, if I had 6 pieces of chicken and I was full at 3, oh, I'm eating 6 because it was 6 on the plate. Because
See?
my grandma always told me, you always clean your plate. So they tell you that, and it's mental. That's in your head. You're supposed to clean your plate, even though you're full. But you just want to always do what you were told to do, and that's what I would do. But now,
Exactly.
now I put it up, and I may put it in the refrigerator. It may not be there because my son probably eat it before I get to it. But that's what
Okay.
he do. But he's 6'4", 300 pounds, so and he's a football player, so I can't stop him. So yeah.
I know that. Yesterday I had a chicken salad with some of those sprouts on it. I had a cup of cherries, some cherries, and a cup of potato chips. And that was the only meal I had for the day, and I ate it about 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And I knew the chicken salad was like this big, and I was amazed that when I ate all that food, my stomach was nowhere near full. And if I wanted to, I could have eaten some more, but that was a lot. That chicken salad was this big, and I was just amazed how my stomach didn't feel no ways full. And I'm eating, and even today, as I bought some more chicken and salad, so I didn't even worry about if my stomach felt full. I know I ate the chicken salad. I had salad, carrots, um, celery, green beans, just regular food. And I know once I eat that, okay, you're satiated. You don't need nothing else to eat until next time for you to eat
Right,
dinner. So I can relate to that as well. Leaving food on the plate, finishing, even if I have 2 bites left, I put it down. I'm like, who is that girl? Who is that girl who's just she's just eating till she's had enough and then she put it to the side.
right, right. So we eating for existence now. We eating for nourishment and not just to eat. So sometimes you just eat just because. And I know intermittent fasting really helped me a lot, and it helped me more than keto did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I do 12. I do 8. 12/8 is what I do. So I fast for 12 hours and I eat for 8. So I don't eat. I love breakfast food, but I don't normally eat breakfast till about noon. So I don't start eating till noon. So so if I eat between noon and 8 p.m., I may eat one meal, I may eat two. It just depends on, how I split it up that day. But I'm full and I last. Like yesterday I ate at 4 o'clock and I didn't eat again to about 3 o'clock today. Because you forget, your stomach gets smaller and that fasting really helps. So
Yes.
I do work out on the empty stomach in the morning because I do, and it helps me. I mean, for some
That's
people
good.
it's not good, but it helps me. I get up and I work out on an empty stomach. Um, get everything up. I have me a cup of black coffee, and that black coffee
Mm-hmm.
will get me to 12 o'clock, and I'm good. So, but
Yes.
it's different for some people. I know people who have to eat 6 meals a day. Some people
Mm-hmm.
have to do that. Some people, it just depends. You just gotta know what you like, find your body, find what works for you. So,
That's
and that's it.
exactly right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of you, sir.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Does your back still hurt?
No, it actually don't.
Do your
It don't.
knees hurt?
Nope. My knees don't hurt like that. Well, my knees still hurt because I played football for 22 years, so, that I mean, that still hurt that way, but as far as, being able to walk and things like that, Imma tell you one story, and Imma leave it alone. Me and my son was a big time football recruit, and we used to go to all these different places and go to these different schools, and when you go, you may have to walk a mile or whatever to get to where you need to be, and when we first started doing this when he was a sophomore in high school, before I started the weight loss journey, we would walk. I had to walk a little bit and rest, and he'll be walking with me. He stayed with me because he never did. I was just his dad. So then, once I got started walking a lot and doing what I do and getting in shape and losing weight, and I started leaving him, and he started looking back at me. Then we got in the car one day. And he said, "Dad," he said, "I'm proud of you." And that right, I actually, I had to cry, like, right there. He said, "I'm proud of you," because Dad, we probably would have stopped from where we walked. We probably would have stopped 3 or 4 times before we even got to the car or
Oh,
had to sit down. He said, "But you did it." Like, and that made me know, that let me know right then I had to keep doing what I was doing. So,
that's you sound like you have some fabulous children.
yeah, they okay. No, yeah, they're great. I have no problems out of them. No problems. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
That is
Yeah,
wonderful.
me and my
Oh my
ex-wife,
goodness.
we're great co-parents, and we
Mhm.
um we raised some really good kids. We have a really good relationship. Like that's one of my best friends. Like
I know she's
actually,
proud of you too.
just got off the phone with her a couple of minutes ago. Like that's one of my best friends, and we were able
Oh,
to put our stuff aside for them, and
yes.
that helped. So we have some really good kids.
Oh,
So
I'm so proud. It just warms my heart because we all can do this. We have 100 million people in this country who are obese and overweight, and we are winning each of them back 1 pound at a time, one conversation at a time, one word of encouragement at a time. And I thank you so much, Ray. I'm so proud of you. Please tell your family that we are so proud of you on the Lose Weight with Me show. We want to definitely have you back in 6 months if you're available. Um, Someone said, "Good evening, beautiful. My daughters and I met you in Kroger, and you brought so much joy to our day." Oh, thank you. I thought you were saying something about Ray. Thank you,
oh,
Laura. Of course, I love meeting people every day, any day. So, Ray, thank you so much. Oh, I'm so proud of you. And I think that you're going to be able to encourage some of the young men, even the teenagers who come across this channel, who come across this show, who are former athletes. I live outside of Nashville, so I've met a lot of Tennessee State former professional players, and they are some. I didn't know that athletes were that wonderful. I just thought, they're just a jock. So I am so once again I met another hero, and I'm so glad to have made your acquaintance. I'm so glad you accepted my interview, and I definitely want to do something in about 6 more months to continue to reach out to help people.
that's no problem. I don't mind. Like it was. I was a little nervous, because I only talk to football players, like and I talk. I'm a math major. I'm an accountant, so of course, what I do at my everyday life is just me. So I just have to handle what I do, and I handle my kids that I deal with just talking to people and public speaking. I still feel like it's public speaking because there's thousands of
It
people on
is.
here.
It
So I
is.
still feel like it's public speaking. So, but luckily I can't see them. So if I can see them, I probably stutter a little bit, but it's great
Oh,
though. And I really appreciate it.
you did wonderful. People who have their thing, your thing is accounting, math, and football. You have something to talk about. So you're nervous because you just maybe not used to it. But I knew this was going to be a good interview because you have a word. You give a word to the players. You lead by example.
Like
Okay. So pat yourself on the back, honey. We are proud of you. Thank you for sharing your journey. And we're going to continue on and we're going to interview John now. And then Michelle's going to come on. Michelle Pettis said she has a program where she has a weight loss support group every Monday. That's free. Once a month, she does prescriptive writing to help people write it out. On Saturdays for 90 minutes. And right now, she's doing what's called mind over meal. So if there are people who need that extra support, she comes on every day and talk about the emotion that goes with weight loss and weight issues, and it's such a source of encouragement. So I love how you were able to, because of your background in football, you were able to really be self-motivated and self-sustaining through your weight loss with your family. You didn't do it by yourself. Your family encouraged you. But
Of
I
course,
love that you were the driving force behind that.
of course. Yeah, it was like I said, it's for my mom. She always been, she was like over the last 2 years. It's been my mom passed away, then I lost my dog, and then
Oh, not
you
doggy
know,
woggy. Oh,
yeah, I lost my dog. That was my baby, and then just to move on past that, my grandma was diagnosed with leukemia. I just lost my grandma this year on
I'm
Mother's
sorry
Day,
to hear that.
and
Sorry to hear
and
that.
each one of those two women were
Yes.
everything to me. So
Oh,
the good thing, my grandma was able to see me doing the weight loss, and she was able to tell me how proud of me she was. And
yes.
that right there, I think all that really helped me continue. I hate that it had to be on those terms. I wish I could have did something prior to this, but
Mm-hmm.
God has a way of using people and using the things and situations to get you where you need to be. And that was my situation. So now I just I help people. I can't, like I said, I'm not a genius. I'm not somebody that's a professional in this particular thing. I just something I decided I want to do, and I got stuck with it, and it worked. So I have people that's accountability people. Like I go to the gym every morning. I go at 4:30 in the morning, and it's nothing but older people. And I got Mr. Charles. I had to give Mr. Charles because Mr. Charles walked by me. We walk about 3 or 4 miles every morning. And Mr. Charles, I walk 3 or 4 miles. Mr. Charles walk about six. Now Mr. Charles is about 86 years old.
Okay.
But when I tell
Yes.
you how fast he walks around that track, like I feel
Yes.
that's my motivation. I said one day I'm gonna beat him.
That's
But
right.
one day I'm gonna get him. So yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. So,
That's wonderful. And that's true. I go to the Y and mostly 60, 70, 80-year-old people in there getting it to it 6 days a week. And that keeps you going. So
yep.
thank you, Ray. I really appreciate it. You can sign off and then someone else will sign back on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you. Okay.
bye.
Okay. We'll be right back, y'all. Give me My mother came to me with tears in her eyes. She testified that cancer had taken her life. I said, Mother, don't you worry. It is in the Master's hand. Your healing is in God's hands. We're waiting for John to join us. Father, what's that? I love that song. I've been listening to that song all day. Your healing is in God's hands. I like that John P. Key. I like that. Your healing is in. It's called My Healing by John P. Key and the New Life Community Choir. Your healing is in God's hands. hmm Your healing is in God's hands. So let me see. Hold on just a second, please. Okay. Okay, there he is. Okay. Mhm. Good afternoon, John. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Welcome to our channel. It's called Lose Weight With Me. And I
Okay.
am Debra Ann Matthews. So I always sing. So I just gave my audience a rendition of John P. Key. Your healing is in God's hands. So let me tell you what I know about Mr. John R. Conley. I saw that he used to weigh 365 pounds. He weighs 195 and has done so, kept that weight loss for 15 years with portion controls, IF daily, and a protein drink. And so I want him to tell his story in his own way. We are so proud. John, this I have over 580,000 followers. We do have men who watch us. They make comments every now and then. Every now and then they'll say, I lost 70 pounds or something like that. So you are the third guest to speak to us from the male perspective about weight loss. We have 100 million people in the United States That doesn't include Canada, Europe, Australia, the islands, South America, all the Uzbekistan, Russia. Well, they're not really big over there, but we have people who follow us who want the support that we're giving right now. So please, thank you so much for being with us today. In your own way, tell us your story.
Yeah. So, about 15 years ago, maybe longer than that, maybe about 20 years ago, just struggling with weight. I think it's probably the battle that a lot of us dealt with. Um, but I got to the point where my health started to fail, just not feeling the best. Always tried to do the weight thing on my own. Started off doing okay, but then I always would wind up going back in terms of trying to lose weight. And when I went back, I would gain more weight and put you in a lower place in terms of depression or just not really feeling good about yourself. It felt like I exhausted all of my options. I mean, I tried some of everything, all these different fads and all these different trends. I remember one time me and my wife went on a soup diet, and we tried that for a while, but to no avail. And I got to the point where I went to the doctors because I was feeling really bad, and they told me that I had a type 2 diabetes, and that really hit me hard because I felt like I wasn't going to make it. I was really young at that time too, and so I was talking to a couple of buddies of mine, and they were talking about how I need to really take it serious because a lot of their family members died and lost limbs and different things like that because of diabetes. And you have to really take control of that. So I went to my doctors and told them about it, that I wanted to, try to do the weight loss surgery. And she kind of discouraged me and told me that, why I mean, you can lose it yourself. And I said, listen, I tried all these options. I said that it hasn't worked for me. And I says, I'm like at the end of my rope. I need to do something, or I'm so young that I don't think I'm gonna see 60 years old because of my weight. And so she ended up finally approving me for the surgery. The process, you had to go through the process and stuff like that. So, make a long story short, so I went through the process, got it all done. I think when well, I can't remember the exact weight that I was when I went into the surgery, but I remember in the process you had to lose, I think it was 5%, 10% of your body weight. I can't remember what that was, but it was like 20, 25 pounds. But couldn't do that. It was hard initially, and then I finally was able to pull it out because it wasn't going to approve you for the final surgery until you got that weight off, to show them that you were willing to go through the process to lose the weight. Anyways, went to the surgery. I didn't really lose much the first 2 months, and the reason why 2 3 months, I still was eating wrong. I still was eating wrong. I still was trying to hold on to some of my same um, habits, and uh, I finally just took it serious because I was going through a lot of emotional things because you don't realize how addicted you are to food and how many of your lives, the things you do in life, is associated with eating. So I mean, I was emotionally having a hard time. I was crying. It was so bad for me because I love to eat. I eat to live,
Mm-hmm.
and, and it that was just ripped away from me because I couldn't hold things down like I was supposed to. And so I end up, I think the first 2 3 months, I think I lost about 20 25 pounds. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to take this serious. So I started to do, I think, 5 small meals a day. And then I started to incorporate working out with that. And just the thing on working out real quick, I know I don't have a long time, but the thing with that is I had to baby step to working out. I remember a friend told me, he said, what you need to do is build a routine of working out. So the first thing you need to do is just start going to the gym every day or every other day for only 5 minutes. The goal is not to lose weight, but the goal is to get up and go there. The
Mm-hmm.
goal is to get up and go there. I started doing that. So, but once you go there, you're going to work out a little bit.
Yep.
And I started working out maybe 7 minutes. I started increasing it to 15 minutes and then 20 minutes. I think I'm up to about 25 minutes now, 25 minutes now. And then I do some lifting weights and stuff like that. But that's been over 15 years ago. I don't know what I would do without working out. And so
Exactly.
and so within about a year of losing weight, I think I got frustrated the losing the weight. Within the first year or two, they told me that's the most amount of weight you'll lose. So make sure you're really sticking to the diet. But anyways, it felt like I was only losing like 5 to 7 pounds. And I was thinking in my head, I don't know where I got it from. I felt like I was supposed to be losing like 20, 30 pounds a month. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That'll kill you, John. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I was like, really? Says the safe amount of weight to lose per month is like 5 to 7 pounds. Anything over that is not real safe. And so when I got hold of that, I was like, okay, so I'm on target. So each month I was right around there. So it took me about a year or so to get most of the weight off. Um, so I came down to, I think my lowest was like about probably about 185, 190.
Okay.
And then I came down maybe about 3 years after the surgery, maybe about 4 years. You know, I started going back to eating donuts late at night, this, that, and the other. So I gained 60 pounds back. And I was like, oh no. I said, oh no. I just started going crazy. Like, this is ridiculous. So what I did is I got a hold of things. I went back to the basics and said, you know what? And this is something for you guys to listen to. It has to be a lifestyle change if you're going to maintain it. That's period. The people think that it's once you get the surgery, it's all over. No, you'll gain that weight right back if you don't manage and monitor it. And so I end up, like I said, I fast from 7 p.m. to now. I set it to one. I really do 1 p.m. now. I just change it up to 1 p.m. and I'll do a protein and sometimes a little bit of oatmeal. And what it causes me to do is not focus on food a lot. You know what I'm saying? My mind's not there no more. So, but I've been able to maintain my weight. So, like I said, I gained 60 pounds, but I've been lost that through doing what I've been doing. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's been life changing for me. I got my life back. Somebody said I look so young now, and just my skin. I feel good about life. It felt like a whole nother avenue has opened up for me in the weight loss surgery. And I'll say this and I'll end, was the best decision that I made in my life, hands down.
What surgery did you have?
The bypass, the
Okay.
gastric bypass, the ruin.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, that is so encouraging. And I love to just get your input, particularly for men. We have women who are on our channel. We have a lot of guests who are women. We have educators who are coming on after you who's a woman. So we got that. But we definitely want you to speak to the men because sometimes it's hard for men to go to a man for help. So
Mhm.
that's why a lot of them are on our channels. But we want you to speak directly to them. What is it that they might need to hear to help them get there?
Right. I think the main thing is that we don't want to use other resources to help us lose weight. Like, for example, like I talked about what I used the surgery. And that's what worked for me. And some men might think by going that route, you're being weak, you're taking the easy way. No, it's about your life. It's not about so much me looking good. That's just a byproduct of losing the weight. It's about having a productive life as a man so that you can be able to take care of your family. You owe it to your family, you owe it to your wife, you owe it to your kids to be able to be in good health. And so I don't know. I just say that just reach out to all the different resources that you can. Doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you any of that. But it's about getting all the support that you need in order to save your life, and so you can look good, look good and feel good, and be present for you and your family. Is what I would say.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. I believe you are a minister.
And I'm a pastor. Yes.
Yes, I was listening to one of your lectures while I was resting, and I was like, that's such a great ministry because we do have 100 million people in these United States. And a lot of times we not may not realize someone is obese because they don't look obese, but
Mhm.
it's affecting their health. So I love the fact that you are in the pulpit leading by example. I watched your page. You're talking about serving the people. One post you're talking about inviting people at work and play in the
Yeah,
community
yeah,
to worship. I love that.
yeah,
That to me, we say what we should do, but I see you all are showing people what Christ should be doing.
yeah.
Christ should be out there in the trenches. And this weight loss, we can use the love of Christ and his discipleship to help us get there. To
Mm,
because he said if he would give us food that we would never be hungry again and drink where we would never thirst ever again. And I lean on those scriptures and those examples of healing. And I appreciate you saying you would come to be interviewed. When I saw your post, I was just like, oh my goodness, 15 years he
yeah.
has a word for us.
Mm,
And being a man is just even better. And now being a worship disciple, I saw in the Bible they were first called disciples. Boom. I mean, Jesus called them disciples. And so you're being a disciple
yes.
for your family, for your community, for your congregation, and most importantly for yourself.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And then I always say, just to your point, with it from a spiritual perspective, losing weight and taking care of your body is a spiritual matter.
There
God
you
has
go.
given us a body. We have to honor our body by what we put inside of it. And I was telling my congregation that I did a post on that, a video on that not too long ago. But we got to honor our bodies because the reality is, and I didn't. I'll leave this alone. But I just read a post and it talked about a majority of us are shortening our lives because of what we eat, and we are in obesity. And there's no way that we can do the work of ministry and put the energy in it that it needs if we don't honor our bodies and take care of our bodies. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah,
Oh, that's a blessing. That's the truth. And
yeah,
and it's not always our fault with us being marketed to and processed food. But
yeah.
once we understand all of that, we rise up. And the next speaker, she does a mind over matter session this week and helping us to understand the emotions aligned with eating and overweight. So we definitely I'm so grateful for today. We had John Ray on, who is a football coach and an accountant, and he lost over 200 pounds naturally. You keeping all this weight off for 15 years. And then Michelle, she's coming on behind you. She teaches a weekly weight loss facilitation group. She
Hmm.
also has prescriptive writing where it calls Write Your Way to Your Right Weight Loss. And now she's doing a free session this week each day called Mind Over Meals, helping us to understand how to get our mind right so we
Hmm.
can overcome this issue with our meals. And
Yeah.
so I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
If you would drop off, then she'll jump on. And I
Okay.
hope that we'll get you to come back in 6 more months. We're going to have a big panel and everybody's going to talk about successful health, weight loss, and mind changes.
Absolutely. Just reach out to me. Thank you so much for having
You're
me. I
welcome.
appreciate it. All right.
Oh, thank
Have
you,
a wonderful
sir.
day.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'll be right back, y'all. God is able to save you, testify. I think that strong male presence in that song it just da da da. Don't you worry, it is in the Master's hand. Your healing is in God's hand. Father, the reason we're having this is because we want to encourage you. You don't have to eat your way through this holiday. Ain't that right, Michelle? We don't have to eat our way through this holiday, do we?
No, we don't have to eat.
Wonderful.
Mm-mm,
Wonderful.
mm-mm.
Michelle is our weekly featured guest. She comes on with us every Thursday. And right now we have a special day right after Thanksgiving, right before Christmas. We are saying we don't have to eat our way through this holiday. We want to encourage you. You see people all through my channel who've been losing weight, but more importantly, they got the weight of this matter off their shoulders. Ray Michelle, he's a former TSU football player and he's a current high school football coach and accountant. He lost 200 pounds from a 6X to a 3X. I was wonderful talking about how he's walking and improving. His back don't hurt no more, and how his children were proud of him. John is a minister. He was 395 pounds. He's been 195 pounds for 20 years now. And as a minister, setting that good example, looking at this weight loss as a spiritual journey, what better day than to celebrate men in their weight loss? We're here as ladies. We always want to say a word to help us ladies, and you bringing it in for both the men and the women. Take it away and share with us that mind over meals.
Oh yes, mind over meals. I am I'm happy that you're talking about the holidays and holiday weight gain. I won't I can get started. I won't keep you too long tonight. But there are a
Okay.
couple of things that I want to share with you about mind over meals. Is if you do the research, what you'll find is that during the holidays, that period from Thanksgiving to the January 1st, there is a lot of extra food that is in the environment. A lot of extra food that's high in fat, high in sugar, high in salt, high in all sorts of things that don't serve our body. Our bodies and people end up eating a lot of different in ways, oftentimes in ways that are unhealthier than normal. Um, in bigger portion size, more opportunities to eat because there are parties and things going on, and people pick up weight. But here's the truth: for the most part, during that holiday season, people only pick up 1 to 2 pounds. And in the big scheme of things, 1 to 2 pounds is not that big a deal. If you recognize that you've gained 1 or 2 pounds, you can pretty much correct it and get back on track if you're paying attention. But here's the thing: most people aren't paying attention. And if you take that 1 or 2 pounds and you multiply that 1 or 2 pounds over 30 years, what you have is 30 to 60 pounds, extra pounds on your body, and you don't understand where they came from. Because you're
Hmm.
saying, well, I eat like I always used to eat. I'm not doing anything different. This weight just came up on me. This weight just showed up. I just got older and now I'm weighing more. Uh, yeah. So
Or
so
they'll
people
say, I don't eat that much.
I don't eat that much, right? And so they're in a quandary of what happened. And what has happened is that 1 or 2 pounds during that time period from November to January that sneak up on you, don't pay attention to. And you look up one day because you haven't been in alignment, because you haven't weighed, right? Because you haven't been looking in the mirror, because it just creeps up on you. You don't know what happened, and you look up one day and it's 60 pounds, and you don't understand what happened. That's what happens during the holidays. But when you get
That's
when you
right.
get conscious, when you get aware, you start paying attention. You can correct that. But
Man.
it but what happens? It just becomes a habit. It
Hmm.
becomes a habit, and you eat larger portions. The food is addictive, and all of that. That's what.
Yes.
But we can change it. I'm here to tell you that you can change it. You can change it. You can change it by starting in your mind. I have a few little holiday stories that I want to share, and I want to jump out. I'm actually in Texas right now. I'm in Texas, and if you've heard me talk about being in Texas, coming home to Texas is near and dear to my heart because there's all sorts of food that I love and have fond memories of in Texas. And Mexican food is not the least of it. And I love Mexican food. And the highlight of my trip will come in Texas. I know I'm going to my favorite Mexican restaurant, right? Uh, and so I'm staying with my friend, and So she said, you're getting out of here a couple of days, and we're gonna go to the Mexican restaurant. And I said, Dee, I don't think I really need to go. I don't think I really want to go. And she was like, what? We're not going to, no, what? And no, I don't think so. And she said, well, you know what she said to me? She said, that's growth,
All
growth,
right.
growth. Because I'm 66 years old. I left here when I was 30. So that means that I have been away for some years. And whenever I came back home, it was always about, oh, as soon as I got off the plane. I mean, and when they started having the Mexican restaurant that I liked in the airport, I got off the plane and went to the restaurant in the airport. I mean, it was like, okay, how many of my favorite Mexican restaurants am I going to go to? That's what marked the trip, right? If I'm here for 5 days, I'm going to 5 different Mexican restaurants. I might go to 10 if I'm eating lunch and dinner, like that. And even after I lost weight in 2019, right, and got to the same size that I am now, I still figured out how to have Mexican food and lean into that tradition. I did it consciously.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what was going on, but I still did it, but not this trip, but not this trip.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
and I'm sharing this story to share with you that this is a journey. This is a journey for all of us. And I'm leaning into that because the way I eat now is not the same way that I ate in 2020 when I first lost weight. It's not the same way that I ate last year or the year before that, because
Mm-hmm.
it is all changing. The environment is changing. I'm changing. I have new consciousness. I'm getting new information, and all that just goes by the wayside. But guess
Yes.
what? I'm not going to a Mexican restaurant, but I'm still having the time of my life. Come, Didi,
All
come,
right
come,
now.
come, come, come say hello. Come say hello to folks. This is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend I'm staying with.
Hello, folks.
She's
Hey, how you
she,
doing?
she's the one that said, and y'all remember when I was talking about the lost bread pudding weekend?
Yes.
It was her. It was this one.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Dee
Good
Dee.
to meet you too. Good to meet you too.
Now, who am I meeting?
Oh, I'm Debra Ann Matthews, and you're talking to all
DebraAnn.
our viewers at Lose Weight with Me.
Hey, lose weight with me.
Yes, ma'am. Lose weight with me, baby.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Yes,
And Deborah,
ma'am.
she has been losing it. How many pounds? I love to hear you
A
say it.
109.8 pounds now.
That's what I'm talking
I've
about,
lost
sis.
5 pounds since Thanksgiving.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
that's
Yes,
Yes.
not
yes,
beautiful. But most people
yes,
have a different
Yes, ma'am.
hope or testament after Thanksgiving. And
right.
it's not how much I lost.
Yes,
We were just
ma'am.
talking about
Yes,
Yeah,
that.
ma'am.
yeah. It's like, I
We, we, were,
overdid it.
we were just talking about that. So
Oh,
so this thing that happens around the holidays, we can change. I'm having the best time ever, because it's
okay.
it's not about the food. It's about friends. It's about
Yes.
family. It's about
Yes.
my sister from another mother. It's about all of that.
Yes.
It's about connection. It is not about, we don't need the food. The food, the
Yes.
food, the food making people, the food manufacturers will try to convince us that we need the food. They will
Yes.
they will try to convince us, not the truth. Not the truth. Okay,
Yes.
another holiday story with this same friend. A couple a couple years ago, I was here for, it was Christmas. Was it Christmas or Thanksgiving? I think it was Thanksgiving. I was here for Thanksgiving, and her brother, who is a very wonderful, very fine cook, was preparing Thanksgiving dinner, and I just said, I just need some jerk chicken. If you make me some jerk chicken, I'm good. And sure enough, he did. He made some jerk chicken, and I went out there and we were all hanging out and I brought some stuff. I think I made some fruitcake cookies. At that time I was still making the fruitcake cookies.
Uh-huh.
I was making them, but I wasn't eating. But I was not eating them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is growth. This is transformation. I don't even make them now. Right. In fact, a couple of years ago, I threw away the cookbooks. I threw away the cookie cookbooks because I knew I would never make them again. So all this is part of the journey. But anyway, make some jerk chicken. So I get there and he has made the jerk chicken and it is looking some kind of good and it is on the grill. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get mine now. And so we go to the table. I sit there. I have the jerk chicken, and it's the event is all adults. It's all
Mm-hmm.
grown people
Mm-hmm.
except for one little girl. One little girl. She
Aw.
comes in. She's about 5 years old, little Trinity. And she comes and she sits at the table with me because I've made the fruitcake cookies, and we have a little conversation. I'm eating my jerk chicken and this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, they say, "Okay, we're about to bring in all the food," and they have all the food. Right? They have the greens, they have the potato salad, they have the sweet potatoes, they have the cornbread and the rolls and the stuffing and the turkey and the brisket. I mean, all that,
All the stuff.
all the stuff. Now I just ate my jerk chicken. Now all the stuff comes out, and so Trinity and I are at the table, and they since she was just her by herself, they made her little kids plate first, and so she ate. And now they're bringing out all the food. It's time to eat. We're going to bless the food. What are you going to do? So I got up. I got up, and little Trinity and I went into the dining room. And no, we went into the den,
Mm-hmm.
and all the people came around. You're not going to have some of these sweet potatoes. No, no, that's okay. We got some macaroni and cheese over. You're not going to have any of that. No, that's okay. I'm full. I'm full. I just ate. I just had what I wanted. I had the jerk chicken. So I go in there with little Trinity, and they are all eating up everything. Everybody's having a good time. They're laughing and
Uh-huh.
talking, right? Getting second and
Mm-hmm.
third helpings. Little Trinity and I are in the den coloring. That's what
Okay.
we do. That's what it, we're coloring and having a conversation. Whatever a 5-year old and a 62-year old talk about, that's what we were talking about.
Okay. Oh, it's
At
so
the court,
precious.
and during the course of the conversation, little Trinity looks up at me and she says, "Maybe we can be best friends."
Oh, oh.
Now, if you've never had a little 5-year-old look you in the eye and say, "Maybe we can be best friends," you are missing something incredibly special.
That's right.
And I'm telling you this story because this is about connection. This is what that holiday is all about. And if it had been 2 years prior, or 3 years prior, or 4 years prior, or 5 years prior, before I got my mind right, as my grandfather used to
Well,
say, I
that's
would have
right.
missed, I would have missed that moment. I would have missed that moment because I would have been too busy sitting at that table trying to get another helping of food. Trying to right? Trying to
That's
get
right.
trying to get all the stuff. I I would have missed it because I would have been more focused on the food than that little girl.
Yes.
We would have missed the sweetness of that moment because she was the only little kid there.
Yes.
She didn't have anybody to play with. All adults were all eating, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
See?
we had an opportunity to carve out something really, really special in that moment because I, as a grown person, as the adult, realized that I was full. I had eaten. I had had enough, and I could sit with this little girl because I had the space and time to do it.
Okay.
We missed these, and I want to talk about that story, but sometimes when I tell a story, I get really sad. I get
Mm-hmm.
sad because I think of all the moments in my lifetime that I missed because I was more focused on the food than I was on the people sitting right next to me, right around me.
Yes.
That I mean that makes me sad in a real kind of way. Okay,
Hmm.
I'll be there in a second. Okay, um, that makes me sad in a real. I'm Dee Dee, I'm driving.
I know. I got to start.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get gas and run back.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We
Okay,
understand this.
okay,
We home
okay.
folk, honey. Didi be driving.
uh,
We
so
home folk. It's all good.
so so this is so important. This is so important that we learn how to put food in its proper place so that we don't miss the reason why
Miss.
we're here in the first place, which is to connect with one another, to commune with one another, to move
Yes.
for the food not to be important. For I mean, if you're you're in a group and there's a family gathering, okay, well, where we gonna go out to eat? Well, we're gonna go such and such. Well, if we're not gonna go such and such, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to eat that. I don't want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I just go eat, where I want y'all going over. We miss that.
The fellowship. You're right.
We miss that. Which is why we are here. So that story, it always comes up for me. It always comes up for me during the holidays because it's about that. It's that real realization. Another one of my favorite stories around the holidays is this, and that is I used to love eggnog.
Mm-hmm.
Now I still love eggnog. I just don't drink it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I even love the taste of it. I love the memory of it. I love the thought of it. And and really, my brothers and sisters and I mean, we were such crazy kids. I mean, we would fight over the eggnog, drink it, drink it, put the carton back in the refrigerator and turn it around. So and then you pick up the carton be empty. Because we turned it around. I would drink it like it. On this journey, part of my work, part of the work we all have to do is to start thinking about why we behave the way we do around certain foods. And as
Yes.
I started to, look at eggnog, because there's nothing in eggnog that supports your health. And I'm not talking about the alcohol. I'm just talking about buying it off the grocery store shelf. And I started thinking about what is it about eggnog that has me all wound up. Well, first of all, we know it's high in sugar and fat, which all that stuff is addictive. But beyond that, beyond the addictive nature, what is it about eggnog? And so I just started to think about, well, when was the first time I had eggnog? First time I had eggnog, I was a little kid. Now, if you've heard me talk, you know that I'm from the South. I'm from the country.
Mm-hmm.
And on occasion, when I was a kid, we would go to California for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
On this particular occasion, we were there, and we were at my uncle's house, and he had two daughters. And my uncle is my mother's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he had two daughters that were about 5 years older than me, so they were my sophisticated older cousins. And there's the sophisticated older cousins that live in California because I'm from the farm in the country. So whatever is in my 5-year-old mind about what a sophisticated California cousin is, right? I adored them because they were that. They were my older, glamorous cousins, whatever I thought that was.
Mm-hmm.
So I adored them. I idolized them. And so we were visiting them and just kind of sitting in the living room. And one of my cousins, I think it was Vicky, they were Vicky and Bonnie, that was their names. Vicky came out of the kitchen and she was holding a glass. And she was kind of standing on the door and she was kind of holding it like this. And it had something white in it. But I knew from the way that she was holding the glass that it wasn't milk. Because you hold milk a certain way, and then you hold whatever she was holding a different kind of way, and she was holding it like, and I'm like, what's that? Right? I'd never seen it before, right? And someone goes like, it's eggnog. Well, I want some, right? I want some because now I'm curious. That's that emotional eating jumping in, right? I'm curious. And my older sophisticated cousin has it. So I want some too. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but she has it. It looks like she likes it. I want to be like her. So give me some too. That's status, right? That's little kid status. That's not grown people status. That's little kid status, right? That's
Mhm.
those mirror. That's our mirror neurons wanting to copy our environment, copy
Yes.
people we're around, and that is why it's so important on this journey to be around people who are doing the things that you want to do because your mind automatically wants to copy those in your environment. So she's standing there with this glass of something. I want some. I hear that it's called eggnog, and my grandmother says, no, she can't have any, right? No, she can't have any. And my uncle says, well, why can't she have it if there's nothing in it? Now, I'm a kid. I don't know what nothing in it means. Obviously, as an adult, I know he was talking about alcohol. He said, there's nothing in it. He was letting his own daughter drink it, right? And
Mhm.
so once my grandmother was clear, and I'm like looking at her like, well, he said there's nothing in it. Whatever nothing in it means, he said it's okay. Can I have some? Because she's looking pretty happy over there drinking it. I want some, right? And so my grandmother relents, and I get my own little glass. And she brings it over, and I taste it. And it tastes what eggnog tastes like. It tastes good. Shoot.
Mhm.
It's all vanilla and nutmeg and cinnamon and all that sugar and fat and creamy. Who wouldn't like it? Right? So I'm happy. I'm drinking up my eggnog, being like my big cousin. I am in joy. I am in bliss with this eggnog. Now, when we get home, we need to buy some eggnog. We need to buy some more of that. Where is it? All right, so the moment passes. Next year, when the holiday season comes and we have eggnog, where do I go? My mind goes right back to the year before when I got to be like my big cousin and have some eggnog. And my mind just goes immediately back to it, to that joy. It's not about
Mhm.
it's and so that's how it happens with all of us with this stuff. And so then it becomes a habit. Oh, I love eggnog, right? The next year I love eggnog. And I get as the years pass, we get separated from that original experience, but it is the original experience that is driving the desire. So get this is that what the marketers do is that they put us in a position where they can create experiences so that we can be vulnerable to those experiences. They create desire for us to want the thing that they are making. It is that desire that drives us. And when we recognize that we are in desire mode and what that desire is doing to us, we can stop. But we have to recognize it first. We have to know what's going on. And so we always be conscious, always be looking, always be questioning. But that eggnog, and so once I realized, because I wasn't having eggnog, but it was hard for me. When in the beginning it was hard because I was like white knuckling it. Just okay, I'll just have a little sip, right? I mean, it happened. It happened like I just have a little sip, and then I'd have a little sip, and then I was thinking about it all, the entire meal. Well, can I have a teaspoon of it? But once I sat and realized that it was the story, it was how the eggnog made me feel. That was the thing that I wanted. I don't I haven't had a problem with eggnog, drinking eggnog in I don't know how many years, in probably 5 years, because I understand where it came from. And then just last year, I experimented with making my own holiday drink that looked like eggnog. So
Mhm.
I pulled up some cashew milk. I pulled up some white beans. I cooked some white beans. right? Get some protein because if I'm going to put it, it's going to be nourishing on my body. Put in a little
Mhm.
blender, put some vanilla, vanilla, some nutmeg, some cinnamon, a little um a little date syrup in it, and I
Mhm.
made a holiday drink that it didn't taste like eggnog, right? But it kind of had it was close enough. Is my point.
Mhm.
It was close enough for me to have something festive, but the but it was nourishing. So
Mhm. Mhm.
it was white and it was creamy. Had a little nutmeg and cinnamon on top, some vanilla. It had a little the dates gave it a little flavoring, but
Mhm.
it was beans and cashew milk,
Okay.
right? In a fancy glass. Now
Okay.
I might not make it this year. I may not. But the point is I have it if I want it, but I don't have to have it. I
Mhm.
don't have to have it.
Mhm.
I don't have we don't have to have any of this. We don't have to have any of it
Mhm.
because it is about our thoughts about the food and not about the food. Um, this holiday story as we think about the holidays.
Mhm.
Um, again, I'm in Texas, so this story always comes up when I'm in Texas. I was here a couple of years back to visit one of my girlfriends, and we were going to meet at a Mexican restaurant. And she called me and said she couldn't make it, but I was almost there. I was like, well, I'm going to go anyway and get something to eat. I'm going to go, and I go to the Mexican restaurant and I sit at the bar. And when I sit down at the bar, they bring the chips. They bring the chips to the table, and I tell them, take the chips. I don't want the chips. And I say that because not even that I was going to be tempted if the chips were there. I wasn't. I just didn't want them, so there was no point in them bringing them. Just take your chips back. And so I'm looking at the menu, and I don't. There's nothing on the menu that I want. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out how is it that I'm going to be in Dallas at my favorite Mexican restaurant, right? And there's not
Mhm.
anything here that I want to eat more. Now I do get a drink. I got to tell you, that's where I was at that particular point in my life. I got a drink. Um, I got a drink, and I'm sitting there just kind of looking at it. And then there was a young guy sitting right next to me, a young white guy. And I say this because it's important to the story. I have my rental car keys sitting next to me, and he strikes up a conversation. And we talk a little bit, and he comes and he finally he says, "Well, what do you do?" And I had just written my book, and I was trying out the phrase "I'm a writer." I was
Ah.
practicing it. I was practicing it, right? And so he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a writer." And he said, "Well, what do you write?" And I went on to explain to him the concept, the food story concept, how these memories, the thoughts, and the beliefs, how this drive our behaviors and our actions around food. And he listened to me explain it, and then he looked at me and he said, "Well, I think you have something." Now, I'm thinking to myself, "Well, tell me something, young fella. Why is it that you think I have something?" Right? Because he looks like he's all of 26. What makes you think my idea is so brilliant that you can validate it? Right? And so he looks at me, and this young man's name was Brandon Rancusi. It was he and his friend, Brandon Rancusi and David Graham. I always remember their names. He
Mhm.
looked at me and he said, "Now that you've explained this to me, I understand why I get sad whenever I eat steak, peas, and mashed potatoes. Because that was the meal that I was eating when my parents told me they were going to get a divorce." The connection, the emotional connection that we make to food. It doesn't matter whether you're dealing with food addiction or anything. We all have these stories. We all have these associations. We all have these connections. He said that, and we sat there. These two young white guys and I, we sat there at that bar, at that Mexican restaurant, and we talked for an hour and a half. We talked about race, we talked about religion, we talked about economics, we talked about education. These two young fellows. That and he kept looking at me. He said, how old are you now? You're 60? You're the same age as my mother? Yeah, I mean, that was like every we talked for about 5 minutes, and he said, you're my mother's age. But my point is this: we sat there, we had this conversation, we bridged generations,
Mhm.
we bridged race, we bridged geography, we bridged culture with that conversation. And the only reason we were able to have that conversation and make that connection was because my face wasn't in a basket of chips,
Okay.
because the food was out of the way. And when we move the food out of the way, we can make authentic connection with one another. We can talk about, we can have a conversation other than, oh, what looks good to you? What you gonna get, girl? I think I'm gonna get that. And the whole conversation becomes about what's on the menu rather than what's on our hearts, what's happening in our lives. We have to move the food out of the way. And
Okay.
so in this holiday season, it becomes more and more important that we learn how to do that. That that it is about that authentic connection. It is not about how many different meats we had, how many different meats we had. It's not about who made the potato salad or the dressing. It's not about
Okay.
any that. It is not about being so full after the meal that you're uncomfortable.
So invite us to Mind Over Meals, Michelle. How many
Oh,
days do we have left?
thank you. Thank you, Debra Ann. Right. So all this that I'm talking about requires a completely complies that you shift your thinking, that you start to think differently about food, believe differently about food, move differently about food. And we're in the final days of our Mind Over Meals retreat, which is happening um, Monday night and Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can register now. It is a free retreat. Now, we've already had 6 days. If you would like the replays of those 6 days, along with the workbook, along with the writing workshop, along with a copy of my book, Leaving Large, The Stories of a Food Addict, you can upgrade to the VIP membership for $75. And I got to tell you something, that is what I just told you, that is a fabulous deal. For $75, you're getting the replays of 8 sessions, eight set, 8 sessions, right? We go through all the principles of brand new, plus we unpack 8 different emotions that keep us trapped in unhealthy eating, right? That's worth the $75 alone. But on top of that, you get a signed copy of my book, Leaving Large: The Stories of a Food Addict, right? That's $25 right there. You get admission to one of my Right Your Way to Your Right Weight workshops, a 90-minute intensive workshop, any of them that we're having in 2025. You get that, and you get the workbook for the workshop. There's a workbook that I created especially for this workshop that includes all the visualizations for all 8 days. You can write in your own workbook all the principles for all 8 days, a place for you to write affirmations for all
Mhm.
8 days
Mhm.
in this workbook. You get all of that for $75. So you can go back to these replays and go back to some good parts. Go back to the good parts. If there's some parts that resonate with you, right? You can go back and listen to them over and over again. And this is especially important with the visualizations, y'all, because the visualization, you don't just do a visualization one time and that's it. That's not how that works. You read the visualization over and over again. You listen to it over and over again. When you have situations that come up that the visualization addresses, you go back to it. We've got visualizations about fear, about control, about shame, about acceptance, right? About loneliness. We have all. Tomorrow we're going to be doing stress, right? Eh, Whenever I'm talking to somebody, we're all the stress eating goes to the top of where the problem is. I'm a stress eater. I got so much stress. Well, we got the answer for that with Mind Over Meals. The answer for that is being vampy. Vamp. The visualization, affirmation, meditation, and the prescriptive writing. That's how you deal with stress in your life. That's how you deal with stress eating. It's not what can I eat? That's not the problem.
Mhm.
Once you, like my granddad said, once you get your mind right, then you can figure out the food. But
Exactly.
as long as your mind is all in some place dark, you'll never get the food right. The food piece will never work. The food piece will never work. I mean, in the session earlier today, we had a person at the session participating talking about how she had purchased this meal plan, this food plan, and gained weight.
Yes.
Gained weight.
Yes. So I don't know the link off by heart, but I it is in the community tab. And once we get off the line, I will put the links under everybody's name so you'll see it. But it is in the community tabs, and it's also Michelle. Your links are in my discussion tabs. So if you
Okay.
go to Leaving Large or Michelle Pettis, it's already in there. Just go back to the discussion, and the discussion is right under our conversation so that you can sign up for these last couple of days of mind over meals. A lot of people in the group saying they don't know what to eat, they don't know how to eat. The first thing we need to know is how to get that mind together, how
Yep.
to think. Then you will naturally, you know how to eat. We just
Hmm.
need support in eating the right way
Yes.
for the right
Yes.
reasons. Isn't that right, Michelle?
That's right. That's
Okay,
right.
so
That's
we're going to
exactly
look
right.
forward, and we also have our free weight loss support group tomorrow as well, right?
We do. It's
Five
Monday.
o'clock Central
Hmm.
Time, no, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock
Exactly.
Central.
Hmm.
So I'm looking for, I'm not missing a thing. The thing about me, don't invite me over to eat, don't invite me to be, don't invite me to stay. I'm coming. I ain't missing the class. So I will be there for the first session at 5 p.m. Eastern and the second session at 6 p.m. Eastern. And Michelle, you better not invite me to your house because I'll be there when you get back from Texas. Be talking about, hey Michelle, come pick me up. Don't invite me because I'm gonna be there. Okay.
All
I
right.
want it all.
All
So
right, sister. I
I
got you.
thank you. I'm
Wow.
motivated. We motivate one another.
Yes.
We do not have to eat our way through this holiday. It's
Yes.
been, we
Yes.
do not, but we do. I love what you said, relating to one another. So thank you so much. Everybody has the information. I check all of my responses, so I'll make sure if anybody wants to join in. I put the Facebook group also in the community page and in my discussion group, so we have all access, so we can continue to encourage and motivate. And this is Michelle's gift to us. Our Christmas present came early,
Yes.
and that's to give us the peace that we need to get on our weight loss journey.
And you are a gift to me. You are a gift to
Oh,
me as well.
thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Well, I appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. Enjoy. And remember, you're driving.
Yes, I'm driving. Yes. Yes. Yes, I'm driving. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you,
I'll see you
darling. I
soon.
appreciate that. Peace and happiness,
Thank you.
everybody. We'll see y'all later on.
Bye
Bye.
bye.